Guilford Works Director Chris Rivera can talk anything unemployment and how to do your job search requirement. Guilford Works Accountability Specialist Salwa Majeed has ways to make yourself more marketable in that job market. And Will Graham is the COO of Graham Personnel Services, giving you ideas of the jobs that are out there right now. If you have a question for one or all of our experts, you can text them right now, 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text-only number. Okay, first and foremost, I want to kind of go back to what that person said in the story. Stephen said he had applied for 60 jobs and hadn't gotten an interview. Chris, what do you make of that?
Yeah, there are lots of jobs out there right now, and individuals do have to consider that there's a bit of a saturation in the market. You have thousands of people that are vying for these opportunities, particularly with the premier employers or those positions that are paying good wages. And so HR generalists or HR teams are really doing their best to kind of sift through those as quickly as possible. And so as we flash back to where we started in this pandemic, a lot of patience and perseverance and follow up on those applications. But yeah, there's a high saturation of applicants in the market that employers are needing a little extra time to get through applications at this point.
Okay, Will, are you seeing the same thing? I guess I was thinking that employers needed so many workers so much that they would be calling everybody.
You bet. I mean, their employers do need so many workers. If that person wants to reach out to our company, we will make sure we interview them. You can even call my direct line at 897-2137, and I will personally help them. I promise that. But keep the faith, keep your head up. There are a ton of jobs out there right now. There are a little more than about 10 million job openings with about 8.5 million unemployed people. So even if we could perfectly fill all the jobs, we'd still have about 1 million more job openings. So it's looking really, really bright.
Okay. All right. We were going to talk about unemployment and stuff like that first, but really, Salwa, I want to get to you and the resources, because once I just heard that about applying to 60 jobs and not getting the interview, I think to myself, all right, what kind of resources do we have out there so that people can really get plugged in?
Absolutely. So with federal unemployment benefits ending, the first thing we have to tell people is do not panic. The first step, obviously, is to head to ncworks.gov, set your profile up for success, or come into one of our NC Works Career Centers in Greensboro or High Point to get some help. Individuals that were receiving unemployment had to be registered on ncworks.gov anyway, so this should be a very quick step. Next up, brush off your resume and your job readiness skills. It might have been some time since you've revisited those, so you should ask yourself, when's the last time you looked at your resume? The last time you did a job interview? And if it's been some time, consider coming in for some help.
Yeah, because NC Works, no matter what county you're in, can get you plugged into your county's works center, and you can kind of do those things, those role playing for the interviews and that kind of stuff. All right, speaking of unemployment, Chris, let's talk about that and talk about the unemployment that is no longer being offered and the employment benefits that are being offered.
Yeah, so we're a couple of weeks outside of this ending of the supplemental benefits. So the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, or the PEUC, the PUA, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation, and Mixed Earner Unemployment Programs have all gone away. What this simply means is that individuals that were receiving those benefits are no longer eligible for that, nor are they eligible for the $300 supplemental benefit. However, individuals are still able to continue to collect their state unemployment benefits, which means that they may be eligible for up to $350 per week for up to 13 weeks.
Okay, so state unemployment only is what's available. All right, so we already have a question that kind of also went on Steve's thing about over the 60 jobs as well, never had an interview. It says, maybe I should apply to a temporary agency. So, Will, that's where you come in. Kind of give us an idea of what jobs are out there right now that you're looking to fill.
Yeah, you bet. And look, we are more than just a temporary agency. We do have temporary jobs open, but the overwhelming majority of our jobs are what we call contract to direct hire, where you work with us for about 90 days and our customer hires you. We do a ton of direct hire placements where we permanently place you with one of our customers. And we do have a lot of temp jobs, but that's really kind of changed over the last 10 years. So we have about 32 maintenance tech jobs open here in the Triad. We have about 12 HR manager jobs open and executive admin assistant jobs open, as well as operations managers. There are job openings in manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, IT, service sectors, accounting, finance. We have about a little north of 300 jobs open here in the Greensboro area. Thomasville, about 120 jobs as well. Asheboro, 175 jobs. So we have almost 900 jobs openings in your viewing area right now.
All right, and we want to make it clear that Graham Personnel Services, not based in Graham, that is just his last name. Again, you saw that the job openings were all over the triad. Okay. Hey, this is a question, Chris. This person says, can I draw unemployment if I keep my grandchild so that his father can work?
So in the technical sense, no. The individual would have to, under North Carolina unemployment law, the individual would have to be displaced at no fault of their own, be eligible, able, and willing to look for and accept work, and have had adequate earnings in their base period to be eligible for benefits. So if an individual makes a decision not to work so a family member can work, they may not be eligible for unemployment.
All right, and we got a couple other things coming up, like if you're sick with COVID, does that help with unemployment benefits in any way, shape, or form? We're going to answer that question and much more coming up when we come to the next segment. Hey, you can continue to text your question. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.